In this video, we will talk about the Maxial track hoist and specifically about removing the wire rope itself, and roping the hoist. First, let's talk about how to remove the wire rope on a Maxial track hoist. With our Maxial motor fixed in an upright position and connected to its control box with no power, we will first remove the wire rope guard. Next, plug the control box into the proper power supply. Begin unspooling the wire rope off the drum by pressing the down button on the control pendant. While unspooling the wire rope, keep constant tension against the slack rope roller. This will help in letting the wire rope to come off the drum smoothly. Operate the hoist to align the wedge plate bolts that are used to clamp the wire rope with the access hole located on the side of the Maxial unit. We will now unplug the power supply to the control box as a safety precaution so that there is no accidental movement. Next, with a 10mm deep socket, loosen the bolts on the wedge plate but do not remove them. Remove the old wire rope from the drum. Reinstall the rope guard, and this unit is ready for a new wire rope at a later date. Now let's talk about the wire rope. There are two options for wire rope. One, you can purchase a factory assembled wire rope kit. We offer this kit in a 350 feet 3/16 wire rope kit or a 250 feet 1/4 inch wire rope kit. The second option is you can make your own wire rope kit. To make your own kit to factory requirements, you will need the following components: a 3/16 wire rope thimble for 3/16 wire rope, or a 1/4 inch wire rope thimble for 1/4 inch wire rope, a 3/16 wire rope Nico press sleeve for 3/16 wire rope, or a 1/4 inch wire rope Nico press sleeve for 1/4 inch wire rope, a 3/8 shackle, and a 3/8 swivel shackle, jaw eye style. To figure out how much wire rope you will need for the job, we use a simple formula. In the formula, total cable length that is needed equals your desired lifting height times 2 plus 15 feet of extra wire rope for safety. On every wire rope kit and wire rope that is installed in a Maxial unit requires an additional distance of 15 feet for safety, known as the safety wraps. As an example, we want 175 feet of travel for our Maxial. We insert in the formula 175 as our desired lifting height, and then calculate the equation to yield a total of 365 feet of wire rope required to be placed on the drum to reach this distance. Let's try this again. Let's say we only require 100 feet of travel for our Maxial, and we do not want to put more wire rope on the drum than what is needed. We go back to our formula and insert 100 for our desired lifting height. We then calculate the equation to yield a total of 215 feet of wire rope required to be placed on the drum to reach this distance. The maximum length of cable for a Maxial drum is 365 feet of 3/16 cable and 265 feet of 1/4 inch cable. As we start assembling the wire rope, we need to ensure that at the 15 feet mark, a red indicator is placed on the wire rope to signal the operator that the hoist is traveling within its safety wraps and should be stopped in that direction. The end of the wire rope assembly should look like this when completed. In order: the wire rope crimp loop with thimble, and remember, the Nico press sleeve is to be crimped according to the specifications set by the manufacturer of your crimping tool, the 3/8 shackle, and the 3/8 swivel shackle, jaw eye style. And finally, let's talk about how to install a wire rope on a Maxial track hoist. With our Maxial motor fixed in an upright position and connected to its control box with no power, we will first remove the wire rope guard. Next, plug the control box into the proper power supply. We will operate the hoist in the up direction and align the wedge plate bolts that are used to clamp the wire rope with the access hole located on the side of the Maxial unit. When aligned, the wire rope wedge plate will be accessible through the opening created by removing the wire rope guard. We will now unplug the power supply to the control box as a safety precaution so that there is no accidental movement of the drum while we are installing the end of the wire rope. With a 10mm deep socket, loosen the bolts on the wedge plate but do not remove them. Next, feed the wire rope through the top of the Maxial Hoist and ensure the wire rope is routed behind the slack rope roller away from you. Insert at least an inch of the end of the wire rope into the opening between the edge of the drum and the wedge plate. With the 10mm deep socket, tighten the wedge plate bolts so that the wedge plate tightens down onto the wire rope. When tightening the wedge plate, we want it to move into an incremental fashion, meaning tighten so far on one bolt and tighten the second so that the wedge plate stays level vertically. This will ensure that the space once completed is square and does not create a V for the cable to possibly escape if the hoist were to run past the safety wraps into the end of the wire rope. Once the wedge plate bolts are tight, plug the control box back into the proper power supply. Begin spooling the wire rope onto the drum by pressing the up button on the control pendant. While you are spooling the wire rope, keep constant tension and keep a tight spool on the drum. If an error occurs during spooling, just reverse the process by pressing the down button and then restart spooling by pressing the up button. During the spooling process, for your safety, always wear gloves when handling the moving wire rope. Keep your hands at a safe distance from the hoist, and most important, if you are spooling the wire rope, also be the person that is operating the hoist. When you reach the end of your wire rope, just bump press the up button on the pendant until the remaining of the wire rope is installed on the drum. Attach the end of the swivel shackle to the top shroud bar with either a zip tie or any other type of item so that the wire rope does not loosen on the spool during transportation or storage. Reinstall the wire rope guard and the roping process is completed. This Maxial unit is now ready to be placed back into service.